hear me okay? Yeah. Wonderful. Good afternoon. The weather, it cooperated for us. What more can we ask for? My name is Patashnik. I'm the director of the Jewish Community Relations Council of the Jewish Federation of Greater Seattle. Woo! We are honored to partner with the organizers of today's event to make it happen, bring them home. How do we open ourselves up, pick ourselves up, and keep going when we are also tired and in pain? I'd like to draw some wisdom and inspiration from Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs of blessed memory. He says, "There's an interesting question about Hanukkah. For 8 days, we light candles, and each night we make a blessing over the miracles. But what was the miracle of the first night? The light should have only lasted for one night, so there was clearly something miraculous about days 2 through 8, but what was miraculous about that first night? Perhaps the miracle was this, that the Maccabees found one cruse of oil with its seal intact. There was no reason to suppose that anything would have survived the systematic desecration the Greeks and their supporters did to the temple. Yet the Maccabees searched. Why did they do this? Because they had faith that from the worst tragedy, something would survive. The miracle of the first night was that of faith itself, the belief that something would remain with which to begin again. And so it has always been in Jewish history. There were times when any other people would have given up. They would have given up after the destruction of the temple, after the massacres of the Crusades, the Spanish expulsion, the pogroms, the Shoah. But somehow Jews did not. We gathered what remained, we rebuilt our people, and we lit a light like no other in history. A light that tells us and the world of the power of the human spirit to overcome tragedy and refuse to accept defeat. Judaism is our everlasting light that no power on earth can extinguish." Thank you. And now it's my honor to welcome up Senator Jesse Solomon from the 32nd Legislative District.
Thank you, Max. How's everybody? So, on October 7th, I got a text that my cousins, Julia, David, Netta, and Noah were in a safe room in a kibbutz of Gaza. And for 2 days, I didn't know if they were going to survive. At the end, these lifelong peace activists had lost their friend Vivian Silber, and many others. Hamas did not discriminate. They didn't save peace activists. They executed 24 Thai agricultural workers. And this is not acceptable. And I know my cousin Julia wants us to bring the hostages home. But she also is heartbroken because of her work to recognize the humanity on both sides. And I know it's critical for her that we honor her friends by continuing to do that, both Israeli and Palestinian lives. And I think we have our own work to do. We need a vision for Israel that seeks a two-state solution. Thank you. We cannot allow settler violence in the West Bank to go unpunished. It's not right. We need a future that's based in recognizing the humanity of the other. And listen, I'm not naive, okay? I've lived in Israel. I've met those who would die to kill us. I've seen it in their eyes. I know what evil looks like, and it shook me to my core. And that is a violence that lives in the heart of Hamas. It cannot be stripped out of their heart. It is who they are. It's a violence that was behind the horrific gender-based attacks, an attack on life itself. There is no moral equivalence in that attack, and our congressional leaders, save one, rightfully condemned that as having no moral equivalence. The Palestinians asked for a recognition of their humanity, and we must agree to that and accept the same, because when this is all over, in Israel, we'll still be living together. On campuses and in the halls of the institution that I work in, there is a thirst to right the wrongs of racial injustice in this country. But diversity, equity, and inclusion trainings, a rigid ideology, has excluded Jewish experience and needs to be opened up. And it's now become literally a safety issue. We see the leadership of Ivy League schools refusing to clearly condemn calls for genocide of the Jewish people, unable to support the Jewish state of Israel. We cannot accept that double standard. We're just asking for the same respect for our traditions and our history and our traumas. Thank you. I know what holiday this is. I know it's Hanukkah, but I want to talk a little bit about Passover because there's something that we do at Pesach that has always meant a lot to me, and that is when we have a cup of wine, we pour some out to recognize the suffering of those who oppressed us. Every plague, drop of wine, and we reduce our happiness because we know that we were bonded to the people of this earth, okay? And we're gonna have to find a way to live together. So I'd say to you, I'd like to say Happy Hanukkah. It's hard to say until we can bring the hostages home. So let's work together to do that. Thank you.
And now it is my pleasure to introduce Rabbis Jill Borodin and Paula Rose from Congregation Beth Shalom.
Shavua Tov. A good week to all of you. Yesterday, during services, in the Torah reading for Parshat Vayeshev, we read about Joseph. We find him in the fields, perhaps lost, but at least wandering. An unnamed person, someone Joseph doesn't recognize, finds him and asks, Ma tevakesh, what are you seeking? And Joseph replies, Et achai anochi mevakesh, I am seeking my brothers. I am also seeking my brothers. We are standing here today, seeking, searching desperately for our brothers, for our sisters, for our grandparents, for our friends, for our children who are being held captive in Gaza. Et achenu anachnu mevakshim. We are seeking our brethren. Bring them home now.
Some of the rabbinic commentators suggest that Joseph is not only looking for his actual literal brothers, rather, or additionally, he is looking for brotherhood, achva. He is seeking relationships of care, of compassion, of solidarity. We are standing here today seeking the same thing. We're seeking support from our neighbors and our elected officials in the face of rising anti-Semitism. We are searching for a sense that we are not alone during dark and frightening times. We are searching for allies to help us build a society free from anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and all other forms of hatred and intolerance. We are searching for those who will stand alongside us, sharing our belief in Israel's right and responsibility to defend itself from terror. What a blessing to find that love, support, and solidarity here, right now, with us today.
But the achva, the brotherhood that Joseph searches out, is not only found out there. It is also incumbent upon each of us to cultivate love and care and a desire for togetherness within ourselves. It is sometimes tempting, especially during times of fear, to retreat within ourselves. We must resist that temptation. And so we hold our hearts open to cry and mourn for all of the Israelis and Palestinians who have been killed since October 7th. We pray for healing for all of those who have been wounded physically and emotionally by the traumatic events of these past 9 weeks. We long for a peaceful, secure, and thriving future for all, Jews, Christians, Muslims, and all other inhabitants of the land. And we must work together to transform that longing into reality.
Joseph finds his brothers. First he finds them physically, and then, even though it may seem impossible, after our winding and painful journey, he does find achva, peace and brotherhood with them. We know that there is hope of finding what we seek. And so on Hanukkah, at this time of miracles, we pray for and we insist on the release of our beloved family members being held hostage in Gaza. And we pray for and we commit ourselves to building a world that is rooted in achva and a sense of being family. Chag Orim Sameach, may this be a Hanukkah of light and illumination for all.
As we light our Hanukkah menorahs this week, let's put them proudly in our windows to remind the world that light will always drive away darkness. Just as the light of the menorah grows over 8 days, so too do we grow in strength as we stand together as a community. I'm honored to be here today and want to thank you for showing up. May the hostages in Gaza return to their families. May anti-Semitism recede to the darkest corners of society rather than be welcomed in the mainstream. May we soon live in a time of peace and safety for all people, and may we hold on to hope even in times of darkness. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. And we had one more speaker, but they're running a little late, so I think we're just gonna move right to Hatikva, and when he shows up, we can work because we're all flexible.
Happy Hanukkah, everybody! Let me hear that again. It's the third day of Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah! That's it. My name is Rabbi Shmuley Levitin, and I direct Chabad of downtown Seattle. And it's so beautiful to see a strong group of Jewish people together and supporters of Israel coming together on this third day of Hanukkah to support Israel. Thank you so much. Am Yisrael Chai. Let me hear that. Am Yisrael Chai. One more time. Am Yisrael Chai. Beautiful, beautiful. So today is Hanukkah, and this is very apropos what we're celebrating today, and we're gathering today are really interconnected, because Hanukkah was the opportunity to vanquish light over darkness. It was the opportunity to watch truth defeat lies. It was the opportunity for the people that were oppressed, for the opportunity to vanquish freedom over oppression. And that is true today as it was 2,000 years ago by the original Hanukkah story. We're living in a time where things are not so clear by a lot of people. There's a lot of confusion out there. But the Hanukkah message always remains the same. That light always vanquishes darkness. If you walk into a room and it's very, very dark in the room, and you'd say, wow, it's only dark. and then you take out a little flame. Take out a little lighter. And it's a tiny little flame. Watch what happens. That little flame pushes away all that darkness. Pushes it away. Because darkness is no match for light. And light doesn't even, and by the way, the light doesn't even have to work so hard. A second the light is lit, bam! The darkness is pushed away.
Shalom Aleichem, Heaven Shalom Aleichem, Heaven Shalom Aleichem, Heaven Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem, Heaven Shalom Aleichem, Heaven Shalom Aleichem, Heaven Shalom Aleichem, Heaven Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem, Ohoseh Shalom.
It is my pleasure to welcome up Pastor Carrie Anderson from the First AME Church here in Seattle.
Happy Hanukkah, everybody. I said happy Hanukkah. I'm here to stay. I'm standing with my rabbi brother, Daniel Weiner. And if I'm standing with him, I'm standing with you. I'm standing with you. I'm standing with you. Let me say this. It is a harmful thing to have captives that can't get home. Everybody deserves a home. And we need to return those who are held captive back to their home. We need to get them out of where they are and back in the places of their community, back with their families, their mothers, their fathers, and their siblings, their aunts and their uncles. Because when one suffers, we all suffer. When one bleeds, we all bleed. I'm here today. I am not a Jewish man, but I stand with the Jewish race. I stand with the Jewish people. I stand for justice. I stand for righteousness. And I stand, bring them home. Listen. I just finished preaching in my church on 14th and Madison. Was jumping in the car. I'm still sweating from my message. But I had to come here because my heart is heavy when I look at the news. My heart is heavy when I look at the college campuses and I disdain college presidents that don't talk about anti-Semitism is wrong to be saying on the campuses of our universities and our colleges. This is not right, and we're not going to stand for those that are wrong. I don't care if you're a college president. I don't care if you're a provost or a dean. Wrong is wrong. Right is right. I stand for what's right. And so I've only got a minute, 60 seconds in it, but I just had to be here to let you know I stand with Israel. I stand with you, my brother. I stand with you, my sister. I stand for what's right. Let right be right and let wrong be wrong. But we got to stay together and we've got to stay strong. Stay strong, my brother. Stay strong, my sister. Stay strong, people.
Thank you, Pastor Anderson. Clearly the closer, I will say that. And now I think we are moving to candle lighting.
Thank you so much for coming in today. We'll now march following Ronit and we'll meet here again. We'll just follow the route and we'll meet here again. Thank you so much.